This is the second lecture on sequences and series of functions. We are discussing the sequences of functions primarily. In the last class, we have seen the definition of sequences of functions, definition of pointwise convergence, and limit function. And we ended the last class with an example of sequences of functions. In today's class, we will see some more examples. The first one today is this one. The domain D is the closed and bounded interval 0, 1, and the function is defined as x over n. If n x is defined as x over n. So the graph of this one goes like this. If you remember the color coding from the last class, that the yellow one are the present ones and the red ones are the earlier ones. So here, this one is f1x, that is x in the yellow. Here, the yellow line, this one is f2x, and the red one is the earlier one, f1x. Here, the yellow line is f3x, if x by 3, and the red ones are f2x and f1x respectively. This is x by 2, this is x. So in this way, if it goes, so here you see the functions are going flat towards the x-axis. We are going to show that mathematically. So then clearly for each point x in the domain 0, 1 and every natural number n, mod of x over n is smaller than or equal to 1 over n. And since 1 over n tends to 0, the sequence fn converges pointwise to the function f identically equal to 0 on 0. So this is our function. Something to talk about pointwise convergence here. We were talking about pointwise convergence from the last class. Now let's see here graphically what does this mean. As we have seen in the last class that the convergence depends on the point chosen. So this is my limit function over here in this example. So the limit function is fx equals to 0. Now to be epsilon close to this function, let's say this height of this my hand tool waving over here, this hand tool is my epsilon. So fx plus epsilon is this band over here. If I slide my hand tool along the line x equals to 0, whatever band you get, let us say that is my epsilon distance. Now you see, consider this point. This point is extremely close to 0. So suppose this point is 0.05. So this point is coming epsilon close to 0 after the second term itself. You see, this is my f2. This is after the second term. This is coming epsilon close to 0, the limit function. Whereas at this point, let's say this point is 0.1. So this point is coming epsilon close to 0 after this iteration, and this iteration is fourth iteration. So after n greater than or equal to 4, the functional values at this point are coming epsilon close to 0. Fine. Now look at this point. So that this is x equals to half. So at half, you see there are 20 graphs I have plotted over here. So after say 15th graph, this one is coming epsilon close to 0. Now if you go close to 1, you see at this point, even after 20 iterations, the value has not come epsilon distance to 0. So therefore, you see the threshold integer depends on the point chosen, the point constant. That is why this is called the pointwise convergence. Next example, we have the domain as minus pi to pi, and the function is defined as sine of nx over n. So this is my f1x, so that is sine 1x over 1, that is sine x. This is f2, f3, f4, f5, f6, and so on. Here, n is appearing at two places, sine of nx and in the denominator. Now, sine of nx, if you start from the beginning, so sine of nx, that n over here is denoting the frequency of the wave. So sine of nx, there is one full wave over here, and if you for n equal to 2, there are two full waves over here. So frequency has increased. If you take f3, so here you have 3 full waves, and at the same time the amplitude is reducing. So here the amplitude was the full one height in the first one, very first one, f1x. In the f2x, the amplitude has halved. f3, the amplitude is 1/3, and so on. So here we guess that this line is going very close to the x-axis once again, and that is indeed the case, as we prove here mathematically. For every point x, we know that modulus of sine nx is smaller than or equal to 1, and so therefore mod of sine nx over n will be smaller than or equal to 1 over n. So since 1 by n tends to 0, as earlier, the sequence fn converges pointwise to the function f equal to 0 on minus pi to pi. Next example, we have the domain 0, 1 only, closed and bounded interval 0, 1, and the function is defined as n over x plus n, and it goes this way. So you can guess that the limit function is going to be f equal to 1. So that is indeed the case. For each value x in 0, 1, we have n over x plus n is bounded by these two values, n over 1 plus n and n over n. These bounds are obtained by putting the smallest and the largest value of x. Since x is sitting in the denominator, the largest value of x will result in the smallest value of this quantity. So n over 1 plus n is the smallest value, and for the smallest value of x will result in the highest value of this quantity, so n over n. So the bounds of this quantity n over x plus n are n over 1 plus n and n over n. Now the right hand side is 1 always for every integer n, and left hand side tends to 1 as n tends to infinity. So therefore, by sandwich theorem, for every point x, this limit is equal to 1. So therefore, the sequence fn converges pointwise to the function identically equal to 1 on 0, 1. Next example, here the domain is entire 0 infinity, and for every n we have the function defined in this way, nx over 1 plus nx. So this goes this way. Here you can guess that the functions are going very close to 1 at infinity, but keeping the one end at fixed at 0. So mathematically speaking, for every natural number n, fn 0 is 0, and for every positive x fixed arbitrarily, nx over 1 plus nx tends to 1 as n tends to infinity. So therefore, the limit function will be, in this case, this one, that at x equals to 0, it is 0, and for every positive x, it will be 1. Next example, over the same domain 0 to infinity, and this is x over 1 plus nx. So the graphs are like this. You can see that they are coming close to 0 again. Here, for every x greater than or equal to 0 fixed arbitrarily, x over 1 plus nx is tending to 0. Hence, the sequence converges pointwise to the function identically equal to 0 over the entire domain. Next example, we have the domain as the entire R, and fn is defined as nx over 1 plus n square x square. So this is your graphs. You can see that they are also going very close to 0, but not very comfortably. They are first going up at this point and then crawling back to 0. So for every real number x fixed arbitrarily, this quantity is tending to 0. You just divide by n square x square in the numerator and in the denominator. Then you see that as n tending to infinity, this entire quantity tends to 0 for any fixed x. So the sequence converges pointwise to the function f equal to 0 identically on the entire R. Next example, we have over the same domain 0 to infinity, and the sequence is defined as x e to the power minus nx. So the graphs are like this. So here, every positive x and natural number n, e to the power nx is greater than nx. Now this inequality is obtained from the expansion of e to the power nx. If you look at the expansion of e to the power nx, there are infinitely many terms, all of them are positive, out of which only one is nx. So the entire sum is definitely greater than one term of the expansion. So from here we see that for any x greater than or equal to 0 fixed arbitrarily, x times e to the power minus nx will definitely be a non-negative quantity is less than 1 by n. And since 1 by n tends to 0, by sandwich theorem, the function converges pointwise to the function identically equal to 0 on 0 infinity. Another similar example, x squared e to the power minus nx over the same domain 0 to infinity. So this is the graph. It is coming very close to 0, very comfortably, and there is no price for guessing that the limit function will be fx equals to 0. So for every x positive and in natural number, e to the power nx is greater than n square x square over 2. This inequality is also obtained from the expansion of e to the power nx. N square x square is the third term in the expansion of e to the power nx, and that only this term is definitely smaller than the entire sum. So from here we get this inequality again, 0 less than or equal to x square times e to the power minus nx is less than 2 over n square. And now since 2 over n square tends to 0, the entire sequence converges pointwise to the function f identically equal to 0 over the entire domain 0 to infinity.